Hello everyone, it's Nux, and let's talk about Mario Maker today. So, there's not many Wii U games left I see worthy of a port to the Nintendo Switch, but there is one game that I want to see a lot actually, being that of Mario Maker. Mario Maker was one of the most fun experiences to play on the Wii U, and even though the idea of a Mario level editor had been around for the longest, the original ideas that Mario Maker brought, such as the game style switching, and a few other concepts it played with, were really fun. But this video isn't about whether it is coming, because I confidently do think that Mario Maker is coming to the Nintendo Switch in the form of a sequel or a deluxe port. But what I want to talk about today is 10 things I would like to see in this potential new Mario Maker game. Like I said, the original Mario Maker was great, but it was far from perfect. And I feel there are a lot of new, or in some cases rather, old elements that can be added to make this game even better. There's no fancy rules for this countdown other than the request has to be decently possible and not too out there. Also, this is in no particular ranked order. Alright, let's start. Add more game styles. In the game, you could choose to build levels in 4 game styles of past Mario, being the original Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, and New Super Mario Bros. But I think there is some potential for more game styles. 2 of the main ones that come to mind are Super Mario Bros. 2 USA, not U Lost Levels, and Super Mario Land. While the current styles are the most famous of 2D Mario, I feel like these 2 deserve to be added because they are also a big part of Mario's history. Some would argue Super Mario Bros. 2 has some drastic gameplay elements that'd be hard to translate, but it actually has been done before. In the Super Mario Advance game, some of the e-reader levels actually mix elements of the turnip pulling gameplay alongside core Mario elements. So it is possible. Super Mario Land would also be cool to see, where maybe you can have the option to make the level the green Game Boy screen, or even black and white. Otherwise, I think there's not much else I'd want to see here. Most of the game should focus on building the previous styles and the new ones here. I don't think there's any more styles that would be needed to properly represent 2D Mario than these. More world themes, as in the backgrounds and theming of each level. I feel like most themes are covered for the Super Mario Bros. 1 style, but there are more themes for the other styles I feel could be used. Mainly the other traditional ones like beach, jungle, desert, etc. It's weird to me that not all the traditional Mario Formula worlds weren't available. Some variants of existing themes would be cool too, like night versions for each theme, because each of the traditional Mario worlds also had a night aesthetic in some levels. Another crazier thing I may add is maybe they could add some new original themes exclusive to Mario Maker. Themes are just background skins, so it shouldn't be hard to implement, I imagine. The ability to add specific terrain in varying areas. What I mean is the ability to add terrain such as poison, water, ice, quicksand, or lava anywhere so you can really spice up some levels. I feel the terrain was limited in some senses, an example being how you can't have small bodies of water in a level. You have to have a full underwater section if you want any kind of water. I basically would find it cooler if you could edit some general terrain to anywhere in a specific spot. Granted, it'd have to be limited to an extent so some impossible levels don't get made, but I think that Nintendo can find a way so that the terrain feature can't be abused too badly. This one is an obvious one. More power-ups. Some of the styles are just flat out missing power-ups, like the hammer suit in the Super Mario Bros. 3 style, or the ice flower in the new Super Mario Bros. Style, and many more. I basically want to see all the game styles have access to all their iconic power-ups and not just a few. I think that alone is reasonable. But to stretch a little further, one thing I think they could slip in is some power-ups outside the set in stone ones. Maybe bring in the poison mushroom for all styles for giggles, even though I still hate you Lost Levels. The Yoshi Shell powers from Mario World, heck, maybe slip in something like the boomerang flower, a power I think would work well in 2D. It wouldn't be too hard to implement. I imagine since we've seen a boomerang item in the 2D games, they could incorporate a boomerang flower in Mario Maker in some form. Overall, I just want to see more power-ups within the game. Different and new variants of enemies and objects. Like I said in previous entries, I think there are still some variants to certain enemies and objects that the game could add. An example would be more types of enemies, where missing some big ones like Charging Chucks, Spike, the Angry Sun, or other types of Hammer Brothers. A similar case can be said for objects such as different colored pipes, and many more examples I'm sure I'm missing, because I would like to see other colors of different variants of objects we already have in Mario Maker, plus add in those missing objects. A big thing though we absolutely need is more bosses. We only had 2 bosses available to use in the whole game, being Bowser and Bowser Jr. And granted, there are some cool things and details you can do with those bosses in each style, but there definitely could be more bosses of just other classic standard ones alone. I would love to be able to use the Koopalings, for example, and be able to choose from whatever Koopaling I want in each style. I think that the Koopalings were in most of the Mario Bros. Games, so it shouldn't be hard to implement them. There are other minor bosses missing, such as Boom Boom, the Resinors, Big Boo, Kamek, and others. Overall, I just want more variety to add into these levels. Slopes. This one pretty much explains itself. The ability to adjust the terrain in more than just the same side-scrolling left to right level. I want other ways to play these levels. Heck, maybe even throw in the ability to make vertical levels. Those are always quick ways to make a level more unique. But seriously, get those slopes in there. The ability to add star coins or some other similar side collectible into a level. I want this because it adds that extra replay value and reward to a level you design. I feel like there's no point in making extra paths in a level besides to maybe finding a 1-up or something when it comes to Mario Maker. Star coins could add that sense of exploration and challenge to a level. The red key coins and keys in general are one thing that help in this regard, but those more so added to the completion of the level than the overall depth. Star coins could be something that encourages the designer to design their levels better and encourage players to play the level thoroughly. There could be a rank for your level of people who simply beat it and people who beat it and got all the star coins. It's just another cool and simple thing that adds to the game. And you know, the craziest part, this is something that is very possible because in New Super Mario Bros. U, there is a multiplayer mode called Coin Edit, where you can place star coins in a set level. So it's not out of question. Message blocks. Basically a way to add some short text to a level so certain things and details you want to point out for a level can be easier. This would be helpful so that it adds some more creative options to a level. And yes, I know Nintendo would probably be scared of this because of the possibility of someone using inappropriate language, which is understandable because it would happen and cause issues. But just have a simple and well thought out blockout system. Have a system that can prevent a level from going up if it is offensive. But I wouldn't want a system that might end up too strict, so if there is no way to fully balance this, maybe it's best left out. At least one thing I like is the ability to set an NPC like a Toad or some other harmless character to a level with the sole purpose of saying a generic line of text. But just message blocks alone would work. More music options. Self-explanatory, but basically you know me. Music while playing a video game is important to me, and more options for music in a level would be great. I also would like the ability to set music points to where it's easier to change music in a different part of a level. This is mainly an issue with some bosses, as boss themes will mainly only trigger by sound effect points. World themes are mostly strictly set to one theme song. It'd be cool if you could switch up music tracks depending on your level. They don't have to make new songs, just bring in more old ones. Heck, add some songs from other modern Mario games to really add flavor. Basically, have a nice variety of songs to choose from to add into a level. More character variety. Playing as Mario mostly in Mario Maker makes perfect sense, and I'm not asking there to be full-fledged developed characters in a game like this, but some basic reskin variety would be nice. The only way to play as someone not Mario is in the Super Mario Bros. 1 style, where you use 8-bit costumes of other characters. I want the ability to play as other basic Mario characters in all styles, such as Luigi, Toad, Peach, etc. The costumes in the Super Mario Bros. 1 style were cool and a nice way to add variety, but they're only accessible through costume mushrooms, which you can obviously lose easily. It'd be cool if costumes could be worn in full even when you aren't in small Mario mode. Obviously, no power-up variants since you can't give every costume a full set of sprites, but it'd be cool. Reoccurring thing you'll notice about me, I just like it when a game gives character variety in some form, so it would be cool if Mario Maker adds to that. So that was my 10 main things I would want to see in the next Mario Maker game. But that wasn't necessarily every little thing, because there is one more pipe dream little thing I would love to see. The ability to make a set of levels you made and pack them into one level pack you can share with friends. Sharing levels you made in Mario Maker is cool in itself already, but one thing I have always wanted in a Mario making game is the ability to basically make a world of levels and simply send those. It would be much more fun to send to your friend what is like a mini little Mario game where you have different levels you design. This is something that fan games have touched before, but one big advantage Mario Maker had over fan games was simplicity. And if Mario Maker were to touch on this with a simplistic way to do this process, oh man. One way I could see this done is simply use the 100 Mario Challenge maps as a template. You can set a level you made to each little level spot, and there, you have a pack of levels in some form you can send to friends. That is easily my most requested Mario Maker addition, but it's only a bonus entry on this list because I see it as one of the more unlikely things to be added. But it wouldn't be one of my lists without getting some crazy dreams in there. Overall, those are things that would make Mario Maker as a game even better for a potential new game or updated version of the original. Even half of this list coming true would dead set convince me to drop money for another Mario Maker game. But until the announcement of this next game, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Alright guys, well that's all I have for today. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you're new, and leave a comment letting me know what you think about a Mario Maker port or sequel and what you want to see in it. Alright guys, this has been Nux, and I'm out. Peace. Also, I still hate lost levels.